Hello everyone, today we're diving into a topic that's been making waves across Chinese social media, a shocking incident involving a 19-year-old girl from Chongqing County, Jiangxi, and the deeper issues it exposes about China's blood shortage crisis and the dark underbelly of its blood donation system. This isn't just one isolated case, it's a window into a web of medical, ethical, and systemic problems that touch on power, profit, and human lives. On June 11, a disturbing story broke out of Chongqing County, Jiangxi, that left netizens stunned. A user named Jiangxi Little Chili took to social media to reveal that her 19-year-old daughter was deceived into donating blood plasma under the guise of a summer job handing out flyers. Instead of distributing leaflets, the girl was taken to a local plasma collection station, where she was subjected to what her mother described as brainwashing. They drew a staggering 580 milliliters of plasma from her, handed her a measly 300 yuan, about 42, and a so-called certificate of honor. To make matters worse, the classmate who lured her there pocketed a commission for bringing her in. The mother said her daughter came home dizzy and weak, and only after pressing her did the truth come out. This story exploded online, hitting the trending lists as netizens expressed outrage. One user wrote, 580 milliliters of plasma. That's equivalent to drawing 1,000 milliliters of whole blood. They're practically draining her dry. Others raised darker concerns, with comments like, this is just the beginning. What's next? Secret organ matching? People disappearing? It's chilling to think about. The public outcry forced local authorities to act. On June 12, the Chongqing County Joint Investigation Team issued a statement confirming that the plasma station belongs to Boya Biological, a company specializing in blood products like immunoglobulin. The team promised to investigate allegations of false advertising, inducing minors to donate plasma, and illegal commissions. This incident might seem like a one-off, but it's a spark that's ignited a firestorm, exposing China's chronic blood shortage and the murky practices of its blood donation system. Let's talk about this blood shortage crisis. With a population of 1.3 billion, you'd think China would have no trouble keeping its blood banks stocked, but the reality is far bleaker. From Beijing to Guangzhou, coming to Nanjing, dozens of cities are grappling with severe blood shortages. In Kunming, the blood center's inventory is down to just 20,000 milliliters, a fraction of the 400,000 milliliters needed for normal operations. Nanjing has been in a blood crisis for 10 months, with shortages across all blood types at times. In Beijing, blood banks can barely meet emergency needs, forcing hospitals to postpone non-urgent surgeries. Official data paints a grim picture. Clinical blood demand is growing at 10–15% annually, but blood collection is only inching up by 2–3%. China's blood donation rate is 84%, compared to 4.4% in high-income countries and 1.1% in middle-income ones, according to the World Health Organization, which recommends a 4% donation rate to meet demand. Self-media outlets citing China's National Health Commission reported that the number of voluntary blood donors dropped from 15.2 million in 2018 to 11.3 million in 2023, far below the WHO's suggested 1–8%. The blood shortage is getting worse, not better. So why are people so reluctant to donate blood? Surveys point to 5 main reasons. First, fear of disease transmission. In the 1990s, Henan and other provinces saw millions infected with HIV due to shoddy blood collection practices, leaving a lasting scar on public trust. Second, systemic issues. Blood is donated for free, but patients are charged high fees to use it. A 200 milliliter bag of blood costs at least 260 yuan, or about 36 in hospitals. People want to know who's pocketing the profit. Third, concerns about health risks. Many believe frequent blood donation weakens the body. Fourth, why aren't doctors and government officials leading by example? In Kunming, civil servants and medical workers make up just 0.28% and 0.29% of donors, while students and migrant workers account for over 90%. Fifth, promised benefits for donors, like free or discounted blood use for themselves or family, are often buried in bureaucratic red tape, leaving people frustrated and disillusioned. At the heart of it all is a lack of trust in the government and healthcare system. People feel their donated blood might not even be used to save lives, but could end up in some shadowy deal. If the blood shortage is the visible problem, the shady practices of blood stations are the rot beneath the surface. The Jiangxi case is just the tip of the iceberg. Insiders revealed that the Chongqing Plasma Station has long targeted students to boost collection volumes, offering a paltry 300 yuan for 580 milliliters of plasma, well below market rates. The recruitment commission model isn't unique to this case. In 2010, Zhu Ruchun, a former deputy head of the blood source department at Ningbo's Central Blood Station, was exposed for extorting 170,000 yuan in head fees over 3 years, earning the nickname Vampire. Blood stations, as the sole entities authorized to collect blood in China, wield monopoly power, and with it comes rampant profiteering. In Hin, one blood station reportedly draws 250 milliliters when only 200 are required, with the extra 50 milliliters funneled into black market deals, netting staff tens of thousands of yuan annually. Some stations don't prioritize hospitals but sell blood to pharmaceutical companies for products like immunoglobulin. In 2021, China exported 177.99 tons of blood product, requiring nearly 80-90 tons of fresh blood. The blood products market is worth 70 billion yuan, and companies like Hulan Biological saw a 67% revenue spike in the first half of 2010, coinciding with the height of the blood shortage. Meanwhile, ordinary donors see no benefits. Waste is another scandal. In 2009, a Chengdu blood station dumped tens of thousands of milliliters of blood into the sewer because of faulty blood bag. There are even reports of staff using donated blood to water plants or selling it to drug manufacturers instead of hospitals. Then there's the issue of illegal blood selling. Despite the blood donation law banning paid donation, blood bosses operate openly, controlling hundreds of sellers. In Guangdong Shundi, sellers can't deal directly with blood stations, they must go through these middlemen who take a cut. A seller might earn 200 yuan for 400 milliliters of blood, relying on drugs like ferrous sulfate to maintain blood levels, risking their health for a meager 500 yuan a month after expenses. These practices don't just break the law, they exploit the vulnerable and erode trust in the system. The blood shortage and blood station scandals are rooted in deeper systemic and cultural issues. The lack of transparency fuels distrust. Blood stations claim the 260 yuan fee per bag covers testing and storage, but they've never disclosed a full cost breakdown. People wonder why, if there's no profiteering, contaminated blood still causes infections. Culturally, many Chinese view blood donation as harmful, rooted in the belief that the body and hair are gifts from parents and should not be damaged. In impoverished areas, selling blood becomes a desperate means of survival, not a voluntary act of charity. The government's claim that donating blood equals good health clashes with these beliefs, making people skeptical. Meanwhile, the low participation of civil servants and doctors compared to the heavy reliance on students and migrant workers creates a sense of unfairness. Netizens have called it out. When there's profit to be made, ordinary people are forgotten. When it's time to contribute, suddenly we're indispensable. Looking globally, other countries offer lessons. Japan's government officials, including Emperor Akihito, donate blood annually, setting a public example. Hong Kong's Red Cross has collected over 4 million bags of blood in 50 years, meeting demand with a week's worth of reserves. In the US, 6% of the population donates blood yearly, far outpacing China's 0.84%. These countries succeed through transparent systems, effective incentives, and a culture of universal participation. To fix China's blood shortage, first, blood stations must be transparent, detailing every step from collection to use to dispel profiteering suspicions. Second, simplify donor benefit processes to ensure promised free or discounted blood access is honored. Third, government and medical workers should lead by example, shifting the burden off vulnerable groups. Finally, adopt efficient practices like component transfusion and autologous transfusion to reduce waste. The Jiangxi girls' ordeal is a wake-up call, exposing not just one scam but a broken system where good deeds are tainted by greed and opacity. Donating blood is meant to save lives, but when power and profit take over, trust and goodwill erode. What do you think about this issue? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know if there's another topic you want us to tackle. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more hard-hitting stories. We'll see you in the next one. If you have thoughts on China's blood shortage crisis or other stories you want us to cover, leave a comment, hit subscribe, and join the conversation.